guys, welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a tutorial in a really long time, so I thought I would do one, especially since Halloween is coming up. And I like to do different looks for Halloween every year. So this year I want to do something different than I have done. I've done Lady Gaga like skull, like when she was in that video where she's like dressed up like a skeleton. I've done that. I've done like a half skull on like the top part of my face and the bottom part of my face, and then I've done the Joker. I'll leave pictures in this video after I get done through the intro so you guys can see those, but I thought I would do something a little different than I've ever done before. And I also wanted to explain the background is crazy. The couch behind me is like all crazy because it needs to go out and get burned, and we're actually redoing the floors in another room, so there's like a lot of stuff that's behind me that's normally not behind me. It's usually way back in another room. So my husband's Xbox is also out here, and he was playing Xbox pretty much the whole time I filmed this, so ignore the background. It's kind of hard to focus on that anyway when you have to look at this crazy looking face. But yeah, this tutorial probably took me about an hour to film. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so I just kind of jumped into it. I didn't practice it or anything, and there's a few things that I will explain in the video that I wish I could have done different, but I am going to do a voiceover for the entire tutorial, so yeah. But if you want to see how I got this Halloween makeup look, then please keep watching. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm just taking a brown eyeliner pencil and I'm just marking out where I want the fake incision to be. So now I'm going over that with some liquid latex. I got mine at Dean's Party Mania. So anywhere that has like a Halloween store, costume store, or anything like that should have the liquid latex, and I'm just applying it with just an old makeup eye brush that I had. Next, I'm just taking cotton from a cotton ball and I'm placing it on top of that liquid latex. This will just give it a more like 3D real effect. It'll make it thick and actually looks like it's part of your skin, because we're going to apply more liquid latex over the top, and it just gives it like that layering effect to make it look like it's actually a bulging scar. So now I'm just applying liquid latex right over that cotton. And then I'm just going to take a beauty sponge, anything will work, and I'm just going to set it with some translucent powder. Next, you just want to kind of pull at that cotton, make it like a little bit more texturized so it's kind of like stringy and like really uneven. And then I noticed some places needed a little bit more of the liquid latex, so I just went over it. It's kind of just like a layering effect, so it really doesn't hurt to put more latex if you need it, or more cotton if you need it. Next is the actual makeup part, and I'm just taking some of some eyeshadow primer and placing it on both of my eyelids. Next, I'm just setting the eyes with some face powder, and then I'm going to be using a NYX palette for the crease color. And then I'm using that same palette and going in with that brown shade, and I'm just putting that in the outer corner and a little bit on the lower lash line and up into the crease. Now I'm taking that purple shade from the Tartelette palette, and I'm also just putting that in the crease. And then I'm using this Morphe palette. It's a little broke up. It's the Jaclyn Hill Favorites Morphe palette. I'm just taking that purple shade and putting it right onto the lid. Now I'm going back into the Tartelette palette, and I'm kind of just mixing that dark purple and the black. And I'm pretty much just kind of deepening up the crease a little bit, not too much, and then of course like the outer corner of the eye. Next, I'm using these two shades. They're the Maybelline Fit Me. I actually have changed up my routine a little bit. I apply the light one. I was pointing out my enormous pimple that I have, but I actually put the light one on first, and then I go in with the dark one and just kind of blend it in, instead of mixing them on the back of my hand and then applying them. Now I'm just taking a Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I can't remember which shade it is. I will link everything down below, and I'm just applying it to my under eyes. I'm pretty much just doing my makeup exactly how I would do it on a regular day. So that's how you want to do your makeup, and then we'll get into the actual scar and messy looking stuff. Now I'm just going in with some Maybelline Gel Liner, and I'm just applying that kind of medium, I would say. It's not too thick, but it's not like a real thin line, and I'm also not doing any wing. Next, I'm just applying a little bit of mascara because I'm going to apply false lashes, and then I also did my eyebrows off camera. Next, I'm just taking that NYX face palette, and I'm just setting the under eye with the lightest shade and the banana shade. I'm pretty much out of the lightest shade. I need to pick up another one. For some reason I did everything backwards. I apply the color and then I showed you what color I'm using, but I'm just using the brown shade from the NYX palette that we used on the eyes, and I'm just kind of messily putting it on there because you don't want it to be perfect because it wouldn't be really realistic. Now I'm just taking that gray taupey looking shade that's right next to the brown shade and applying it in the exact same places that I can, kind of a little outside of the incision as well, because it's definitely going to look like a bruising. And then pretty much, yeah, just messily. Now I'm just taking that burnt orange shade from a different NYX palette, which any colors will really do, as long as you're kind of mixing browns, purples, reds, and oranges. It'll all come out to the same effect, so it really doesn't matter, but like I said before, I will link everything below. Next, I'm just taking this NYX liquid lipstick. It's like a deep red, and I'm just applying it to random spots on the incision. Now I'm taking another NYX liquid lipstick, and I'm using it's like a dark purple shade, and I'm just applying that in random areas as well. Now I'm just taking another beauty cosmetic sponge and applying actual fake blood that I just got at the same store that the Dean's Party Mania. You can get this just anywhere, like Walmart or whatever. I got the one that's really thick. I figured it would stick better and look more realistic. So next I'm just going in with some more eyeshadow and just an eyeshadow brush, and I'm just applying that right on top. The blood wasn't even dry yet, but I'm kind of glad it wasn't because it kind of mixed in with the eyeshadow and it made it darker and a little bit more realistic. I'm kind of mixing like a black and a really dark purple just out of that Tartelette palette. But yeah, I think it definitely made it more realistic. So here comes the fun part and definitely the hardest part of this entire tutorial. I'm just taking the Ardell eyelash glue and I'm placing it in dots where you're going to place stitches. I kind of wish I would have already had cut the string before because that was the most time consuming, was measuring it out and then cutting it. And I think I would have went with a thinner piece of string. The string that I used was pretty thick, so I think it was harder for it to stick. But after I get it attached, I just apply more glue and then it'll dry clear. I definitely had the hardest part sticking the string to my face, and you guys will kind of see that throughout this video because I wanted to leave it in there so you guys could see exactly what this video was and exactly what I had to do to get this look. I ended up redoing that one piece because it was cut so large that it just looked ridiculous. It was kind of bending and everything else. It just didn't look right. So I ended up using tweezers to help pick up the string and stick it to the glue, but it honestly really didn't help. I think it kind of just pulled on the string a little too much, and I feel like the string, no matter what, it was just too heavy, but that's the look I wanted. I really wanted it to look like it wasn't done, professionally, and it was just done like in someone's basement, and I wanted it to look creepy. So that's why I ended up going with a thicker string. But yeah, if you guys don't want it to be as difficult, you could definitely go with a thinner string and it would probably look just as good. I kept this part in the video because I wanted you guys to see exactly, what I had to do for this. I ended up taking those first 3 pieces off and realigning them. They were just too big and kind of floppy. So yeah, I don't want anyone, to try to attempt this and then it take them longer. So I just wanted to show you guys, everything I did to accomplish the final outcome. Now I'm just applying gel eyeliner to the bottom lash line. Now I'm just using this Wet n Wild blush. I'm just applying it to the one cheek. Then I'm taking an Artistry lip pencil and I'm just outlining and filling in the lips. And then I'm going to be using that same purple liquid lipstick by Nyx and putting that over top. Now I'm just taking that brown shade from that same Tarte palette and I'm kind of bruising up the eye And then I also go around the incision and kind of make it more bruised looking. And I also go back and forth between that dark brown shade and the purple shade from that palette, so that way it looks like an actual bruise. So now I'm just taking some Vaseline and a Q-tip, and I'm just going to apply it right underneath the eye. That way it makes it look like my eyes had been watering or I had been crying. Now I'm just taking more of that NYX red liquid lipstick and I'm applying it to where I had the glue for the stitches. The glue dries clear, but it's kind of shiny and sometimes it almost looks yellow. So that's why I ended up applying the liquid lipstick over the little dots. Now I'm just taking the purple lipstick and I'm kind of doing the same thing, kind of just going over it. Now I'm just going in with more eyeshadow and just blending that liquid lipstick out and shading. So this is the finished makeup look. Please tag me if you guys end up creating this makeup look or if you recreate it. Just tag me on Instagram. I'll leave everything below. Thank you guys for watching.